manual, and we spent a lot of time trying to come up with ways to track where the contracts were at in the process from the sales side as well as from the legal side. We were old school using an Excel file where people would log their legal request and it would get picked up by Garrick, and then he would log it back into the Excel. It was an additional manual process. We had several different versions of our legal documents floating around, one with a brand on them, one that had legal terms that were no longer approved or valuable. And so a lot of times we would, in the order management process, see contracts that hadn't even been to legal for review, had wrong names on them, all kinds of it was very chaotic. And it was constant, I guess there was constantly a complaint that legal wasn't working fast enough.
You didn't want to be the person that was blamed on a sales call when you're not on there, and then they come to you, you say, oh, what about this? And you can point out that perhaps you weren't sent it a week ago, you're only sent it that day. What we found, we needed to find a way that actually enabled us to, one, to create documents easily, to track the process of contractual requests when there was negotiations or reviews, and also then storage to make sure we had a centralized repository of contracts. And that's why the CLM really, for me, was excellent for those sort of three aspects.
Really helped with was giving us standardized templates, right? So not having sales using all of the different templates. We know they now have one place to go to grab the paperwork that they need. They know it's the latest, greatest. They know that it's been reviewed by Garrick. It cuts down on a lot of the back and forth.
See, whenever someone creates a document, I get a notification they've created an NDA, but I don't have to review it because I know they're using the standard document, and they know as well. So you can see when someone has lodged something, they can see when I've looked at it, they can see if I've asked them a question, because that won't be in an email. It'll actually be within Summize where I've asked them or queried about it. And anyone else, CEO, can go in and see where every particular deal is in the negotiation cycle and if there are any issues.
It implements with Microsoft products, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Outlook, Teams. They have integrations with other, we just happen to be a Microsoft shop, so I can really only speak to those. But also the integration with Salesforce. When we first started the journey with Summize, they were still working through some of that, and being able to be a part of that journey with Summize was good. It's always good to know when it can be incorporated directly into your CRM as well, to give sales a one-stop place where they go for everything. I think from that aspect, Summize really, the implementation was very easy. It was very smooth, and the maintenance of it is very easy as well.
We put a lot of contracts in Summize, and suddenly there was a red flag in Summize. And so I looked at the red flag, and it was actually detected that one of the payment terms in one of those contracts wasn't in accordance with our rules. You've got the transparency for legal. You've got the peace of mind that when they're generating a document, they're generating the right one. They've not gone to an old template on their computer. And Leah, as Leah will probably point out now, it really speeds things up for sales and enables them.
We don't have a lot of the issues that we had before because we have a process where we know things are being reviewed by the right people at the right time throughout the entire sales process. And for sales, I would say it's really been game changing because it speeds everything up. I don't hear, very rarely do I hear Garrick hasn't gotten back to me. And for the longest time before we implemented this a year ago, that was like every week I heard it 2 or 3 times. And now it's almost non-existent.